and welcome to Conversations in the Country with Catherine. I'm Catherine Lane, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, maybe you're watching this in May, maybe you're not watching it in May, but every single day should be Mental Health Awareness Month. So glad you're here for this conversation. Talking can save lives, and we're going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep talking. I've got Dr. Nancy Turner here with me today. She is I want to get this right, the Director of Behavioral and Mental Health Services in Rock Hill Schools.
That's correct.
Thank you for joining me, Dr. Turner.
My
and
pleasure.
you are a friend of my friend, Kate Brunnelson.
Absolutely.
Kate is with NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. And this little girl here, you may know her. She shows up in just about every picture and video from the radio station. This is Winnie. This is kind of our unofficial sponsor at Country 103.7 on the Tanner in the Morning Show, and our new girl, Jelly Bean. So
cute.
Dr. Turner, let's talk about the kids and their mental health in the Rock Hill schools. What do you hear the most of as the director? What are kids going through now in the school system?
We hear a lot of students having anxiety and depression, school phobia, meaning they I believe Maddie mentioned it, not wanting to come to school, not because they don't like school, but because of all the issues that they're running into. And
that's something we didn't have to deal with. I mean, we had tornado drills,
right?
And now it's something that we're hearing about way too often in the news, and that is violence in the schools and children, going to school and then not coming home that day, and that is very real and that's very scary.
It is, and really, it's not school itself. It's not. I'm not hearing about the instruction.
Right.
I'm not hearing about classes too hard. I'm just hearing about the social interaction, the social media. And if possible, many of the students want to just have school virtually and not deal with what might go on in the halls or
and see, that's scary to me because I think COVID really set a lot of kids back, socially, mentally. Isolation, now I know it's necessary in some cases, but in my experience, the isolation was not good.
It was not good for anyone, right? For adults or for kids.
Right.
And so we are trying very hard, really through the Mental Health Advisory Council, with our students, seeing what we can do in the schools, in the community, and such bright, articulate students who are passionate about mental health. After their long day in studying and in classes, they'll come to our activities and they'll work on projects.
This is your mental health advisor,
Mental Health Student Advisory Council.
Right, exactly.
So very, very pleased.
Now, do you ever have kids that come to you and they don't even know how to express themselves? They just know they're mad. They might be misbehaving because they don't know how to express it. How do you, as a professional, deal with a child that you might be aware of that is behaving this way? And how do you get to the bottom of it? Like, they might not be a bad kid. They're just angry that, their dad is gone, or they're having a hard time in math, or so-and-so's bullying them.
So many variables, so many scenarios. And I will say, through my years, this is my 45th year in public school.
High five!
High five.
Yes!
But through the years as a teacher, middle school teacher, principal, director of special education, and now director of behavioral and mental health, I'm just seeing when there are behaviors, there's an underlying rooted issue. And whether there are serious mental health issues or not, there's a problem, something that a student just needs to talk to someone about.
Yeah.
And I am seeing that many times self-regulation, self-direction comes after an adult listens.
Yes.
They're not necessarily looking for a response. They're not looking for, certainly not a lecture, but just someone to listen and maybe open-ended, is there anything I can do for you? And a lot of times that's all the students need. Sometimes they need more.
Yes, I was talking to Kate about if it was a good idea to say to your kids, because I really want parents and kids to connect so that if a kid is in mental health crisis, they will come to a parent or a grandparent. I really want to get that message across with all my heart. And I was talking to Kate, who is here with us too, about should we just say to kids, You can come to me with anything and I won't get mad. You can tell me anything and I promise I'll just listen. So, but that you can't give it a carte blanche that. I mean,
Right.
you have to make them aware that there may be some consequences, but you'll always be there to listen to them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There will be consequences sometimes, but opening that door, letting them know that they can talk to you. Even in that moment, if you're going to stifle your anger, you're going to take that mom hat off or that grandparent hat off or that caregiver hat off and just listen to them. And give them an opportunity to talk about what it is really important.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
you know, if they came to you and they said, look, Mom, I just had some Boone's Hill strawberry wine. Not that I did that as a teenager.
I would say first, that's gross.
Well, it wasn't gross in 1980 something, let me tell you. But, you know, you shouldn't do that when you're a kid.
Funny that I knew what that was.
Right? But if I would not feel comfortable, you know, talking to my mom about that. But I think as a parent, you know, what I would like to hear back is, come on, why did you feel like you needed to have some Boone's Farm, Strawberry Hill? You know, I mean, why did you feel the need to do that? You know, and the reason was because I felt less, I felt less inhibited,
Yep.
you know. And so that's the answer there that I didn't get because I didn't feel comfortable talking to my parents about maybe things I was feeling or
Right.
things I was going through. So, gosh, I hope that's changing. You know, where parents
I
are
think
and
it
kids
is.
are
I
talking.
think it is.
I think it is.
Oh my goodness. Of course, I think we share the same generation here, and we didn't talk about that.
Right.
It was just not, you know, it was taboo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now I sincerely believe it's changing. I have to say, 10 years in Rock Hill, and the community has truly embraced mental health awareness, embraced talking about mental health issues, from the many things that we have been doing to NAMI and to the other resources. I love the barbershop talks. I don't know if you've ever
Yes, yeah.
mentioned that, but just talking with others and businesses and
Media.
media.
Yeah. Pester the media, everybody.
Yes.
I think our kids are helping change that conversation
do
as
too.
well. I think they're helping us because we didn't talk about it in my generation either. And I think the kids are really helping their parents be able to open up and
Yes.
talk about it because they're getting the education in the schools
Good.
and they're talking about it amongst themselves.
Yes.
So they're a lot more comfortable, I think, than maybe we were or we are sometimes as parents in
I
having
think
those
so.
conversations.
I'm also seeing an influx of referrals, and from parents, from guardians, caregivers, whoever it is, not because there may be some deep, serious issues, but they're seeing a little anxiety. They're seeing that their child, young adult, is acting a little different, and they may need a professional to talk to.
Yes.
And so the whole idea of seeing a mental health clinician, I think it's totally changed.
Yeah. We're coming out of the dark ages,
Yes.
finally. You know, like when I was in 6th grade, I've always been terrible at math. Mr. Hicks, my math teacher, if you're listening, you were not nice to me. But I didn't know it was anxiety I was feeling. Like I would have a stomach ache and would, you know, get physically sick because I didn't want to go to his class. And that conversation never took place. My parents just treated me for a tummy ache, let me stay home
Right.
from school.
Mhm.
What I was experiencing was anxiety,
Yep.
you know? And I haven't heard that word until I was an adult, really. And it's nothing new. It's been going on. We're just a little more aware of it.
Oh, yeah.
So if a child is experiencing anxiety in school or any kind of issue, where should they go first? Okay, you're a kid, you have a child in school, they're going through this. What's the appropriate action to take?
Well, first and foremost, if they can go to their parent, I would parent, guardian, caregiver. But let's say in school they're really having
A bad
a
day.
time they can't.
Yeah.
It's impacting their learning.
Yes.
There's, I think Maddie had mentioned, and our students had mentioned, trusted adults is what we talk about.
Mhm.
There's always a school counselor. There's certainly administration, but sometimes they're hard to get a hold of. So a favorite teacher,
Yeah.
a trusted adult.
Yes.
And most kids have a trusted adult at school.
So I hear trusted adult. How do you become a trusted adult? Like, how do you might not know how to be a trusted adult. How do you become one, or where do you go for information on that?
I truly believe that there's good connections with every student. Even Rock Hill has schools that are huge, close to 2,000 students. I truly believe that every student has a connection with one adult. Excuse me, it could be their coach, it could be their math teacher, maybe not Mr.
Not
Hicks.
yours.
But, and that's who they would go. It may not be their teacher.
Just
It
an
may
ear. Be a
an
listener.
ear. It might be their teacher from 10th grade,
Right.
and now they're a senior.
Right.
So they've made a connection, and that's the person that they would touch base with.
And a trusted adult should be the kind of person that listens.
Yes.
Um,
No judgment.
no judgment. Reserve, think about what they've said, listen to it, ingest it, and then decide how you want to proceed.
Proceed with caution.
Yes.
For someone who makes time.
Right.
And it might not be right now. I don't have time, but I will at 3 o'clock this
Right.
afternoon, or my time that I'm off is whatever, at 8 in the morning. Come see me then, or maybe if that student really looks like they're having a terrible time, to refer to the school counselor and not put it off.
I see. So what are some of the things that Rock Hill is doing with student mental health in general? You mentioned being out in the community, and they can come to you for resources.
Yeah.
You're affiliated with NAMI.org.
Oh, yes.
And tell me, you got to tell me some things NAMI's got going on to help teens and adolescents
So
and everyone.
We
Yes.
do our Ending the Silence, where we come into the school and do about a 45-minute presentation on signs to look for, symptoms to watch for, how to start those conversations, and then how to connect. We talk a lot about that trusted adult, and we talk a lot about identifying two. In case one is busy or one is preoccupied or one forgets to, as my kids would say, code switch. And I can hear all the teens like, oh, that's so cringy.
What is it?
Code switch.
What is code switch?
So like if I forget to take my parenting hat off and I reply as a parent, like, why would you do that? Or what were you thinking? Instead of letting them have that conversation. Right. So you might need that second adult to get the response that you're looking for, and that listening non-judgmentally, and just that space to talk it through. So we talk a lot about identifying two trusted adults.
Good.
Okay.
And then we're working to bring NAMI on campus, which is a student-led club in the schools where it is completely student-driven. They come up with the ideas, they come up with a plan, and then we just kind of come up alongside and support them in pushing forward mental health awareness and whatever other initiatives they identify in their school. And each club is unique because each school is unique and they have different issues. They face different things. The student body that makes up those clubs is different. So it really is peer driven.
Thank you for what both of you ladies are doing.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
I did want to also mention that we have our school board, our superintendent, really everyone involved in the school, again, has embraced mental health, and we are so fortunate to have site-based mental health therapists.
Oh, awesome.
Not only are employed, but we also work with other agencies, Stepping Stone, Atrium Health.
That's great.
We offer both face-to-face and virtual. So
That's amazing.
We have therapy there.
We've come a long way.
Come a long way.
Yeah.
Right at the school, a student does not have to miss a class. We work out their schedule, or virtual, either after school, before school, even on the weekend.
Right. That is amazing. That's awesome. NAMI.org. If you have any questions about anything regarding mental health, if you have a child that you are concerned about, that you don't know how to start the conversation, you don't know the signs to look for specifically, you're wondering, is this normal behavior or not? NAMI.org is an amazing organization to go to, and Dr. Turner is with us with the Rock Hill Schools. You guys are doing amazing work there.
Thank you.
SeizeTheAwkward.org. Kate Brunnelson, Dr. Nancy Turner. Thank you for joining us on Conversations in the Country. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you for doing what you do.